Hey people, back before tableware, men would just chew their meat right off the bone, and then they would throw that bone to the woman. And this can be proved by the teeth marks in every bone. And when we get a real close look up at this bone, these teeth mark in this bone right here, and this is every educated, indoctrinated person in the world. They're going to say this is a bone. And so all this information's in one line here when God makes woman. There's two, T sounds. You have the masculine, this is the TH, and you have to have teeth, the teeth. But down here in the bone, it's the other T. It's spelled a couple different ways over here, but, this is where the osteo come from. And so, the story they give you about Adam and Eve, there's some things that they didn't want you to know in there. Not that they were top secret, they just didn't care for people to know. It was right here in the 22nd line. And he took a rib, formed it into the woman, and he let her in a gag in of then forced on Adam. They leave that forced on out of there. He didn't just lead her to Adam, had gag in of then forced on. And so Adam might not have been too happy about it, but it tells what he was thinking right here. She was taken, this is the left. And this word they think is bones is not bones. It simply means, to gnaws it on 'em of. To gnaws it on is the woman, and to gnaws it on 'em of is what they're gnawing on. And so it takes, this isn't this is them of, to gnaws it on 'em of. And so today, that would be a polite way of saying, ya bitch, he gnaws it on 'em of. And so, he just brought her to Adam. And so you imagine Adam's first words here, this is the W, the W-E-I-F-E-N, a wifin had him. A wifin had him to what on when? To what on when? As to win to win of to, or let, L, the let, gnaws it on 'em of. And was arch, this is that first word in the Greek Bible. It's the arche, the secrets, and it's the last word in the first line of the Hebrew, the earth, the arch. And so that's the secret that's hidden here, and that's the book of none. The book of none. This is how the Greeks wrote the book of none, but it's actually spelled, none is spelled with two sedges. It's a pair of sedges, two X's. It's double X is what it means, and it's taught to none. Don't tell anybody about this. This would be the ancient Egyptian spelling of none. This is your ancient Egyptians. And it means, no, you can't get my recipe. None. Taught to none. And so it starts with this and a hyphen. Adam taught to none. And don't teach anybody about the hyphen. The hyphen, that's the first mark I figured out in the Hebrew. The hyphen is the mark that lets you know to read the next word backwards and forwards. And so, in the hyphen, made Adam, or from dad, backwards and forwards. The hyphen is the secret. And so the wifin has the secret. The wifin had 'em taught to none, as to when let a nost on. So it's talking, above this is talking about, the cosmeton on the first line. And then it splits it up with the four rivers. And that's the cause move, the cosm, the cosmos, and they cause move. And so this ain't meant to be that secret. This was knowledge everybody got in grade school. They could read this. And this is the first game that you play with your baby when they're 9 months old. You have writings and a picture. What to? What does this go to? What does this spell? This spells none. This goes to the none. And so this is the first game you play, so everybody knew, this means what to. And it's to what on when. And it means the cycles. And so Adam just means had 'em. It means them, masculine, feminine. It doesn't matter what it's talking about over here. We'll give that. But that's them is masculine or feminine, and it just means had them. And so the wife, the W and to hyphen. And so the wife in had 'em to what to on when. And so it's saying, the wife had the job of writing everything down, and it's because she would come up in my office, and the wife and had 'em to what to when on when. She's always asking. It keeps on going. What is this? What is this thingamajig? What does this do? And the wife in had 'em to what on when. What to on when. So she'd keep on asking. So he assigned her a job, and her job was to chart all the stars. Is what the story on the top reads. And so the wife in, these words are describing pictures, and this word's actually just describing the picture of the Vav in the Hebrew. And this word's a hyphen, just a dash. What it means is androgynous man. And this is Adam's first words. None is androgynous. All you need is the UN and a hyphen on this word in Hebrew, and that NU will read none. It's an androgynous man. It's been hyphened. It means to connect the mirror image. In the hyphen had 'em to what on when, as what as to when. To what on when as to when. What time did this happen? Where was this planet when this happened? Is to what on when as to when. But this is where the action of a teacher came from, and taught to, and what to is that game you play, what it goes to. And so if you're doing the to what to, you're playing with your kid, to what to, the taught to. And this is bone in my bones. It tells me as to when was put on a fishbone diagram, under its kata, the kata, according to, under its kata on the fishbone chart. And ek, meaning of, and so it's probably where the word, the connect comes from, the connect to, and it means, the let of it, of to. And so it probably evolved with many words that you can read it as an ek, but it's a L, and it means the of from the masculine, and of to the nosteion, move. And some people are just reading it as, the wife in had 'em to what on when as to. The wife telling you to what on when, on has to, what you got to do on has to when ekton, when connected, when married, when ekton, and connect on the nosteion move, the nosteion, the night sky move. And so what gnaws it on 'em of was arch of tesser. This is the tesser of the collector, the arch, the top of the collector, the cause move of thee. And what cause move of thee, my fleshy? What cause move of thee? The clitazetagion, the clitazetagion. And so this is the first time they'll use this for call, maybe the only time. Called always starts with a K-A-L, K-A-L-E. This is a warning. It's where your word, hesitate comes from. And it means, the has it, the mark. It has that mark, you don't want to mess with it. And it's the clit. And a tagion, that's a contagion. And the adge, is things that you acquired along the way. And tag is attaches, attach, owned, yours. And so a gin, and a contagion is the creator. As in pathogen, the gin is the producer of. When something's contagious, that's where that comes from. And it's the clit, the clit has it, attagion, got me addicted. The hottie, she was a hottie. The hottie of L, of or let of. And so the hottie of to wonder, WANDR as. And the hottie of to wonder as of thee select. Why did she choose me? That's what the ancient man was thinking. God, she is such a clitahazitagion. The clit it has connected, the gine. That's where they say woman comes from, gina. The clitahazitagion hottie of to wonder as of thee select. Why did she pick me? And I hear men say that all the time. Why did she pick me? And so all these words have different meanings, and you have to make sure you read it and don't miss a letter and don't add anything before you get it. Because, sometimes it's left, Leqth. It's what's left. And sometimes it's the first. It's select, taken off the top of the select. And so a test, the TESS, that's the 4. But this second S reads as an I. And so a tessie, a T is a D. It's also the desi. A desi is God, a goddess. A desi or cause move, the God that cause move of thee. When something's authored, it's the book, the King of the Sea. Of is the father, to father thee, of thee. And cause move of the clit it has a tag. The clit it has a tag. And so we think of a clit, the same thing as the vagina. But it comes from, the KLE. This is like Colleen. This is the feminine part of an attachment. When something cleaves, it attaches. And so it means it has the feminine part of the attachment. It has a hole that you can stick a hook in, the cleat, where you tie your boat off, the one that you come home to, the cleat, the cleat is it, the cleat is it too. And this ete, they say it's in the future, and it's because sometimes these words are read backwards and it means yet, not yet, is where they get that from. But you could usually take this and select a letter or two from it and read this first, and has it to glitch, has it to attach. And the jinn, the creation machine. And so, Audi, and this is the L-E-L-L-E, and it's the legs. It means, moving to or from. And like this, it's just the of, and Audi let, of under as, of under of saw this. Oh, once he saw what was underneath, then it was the clitahazitagion. And so, and the hyphen had them taught to none. None was called the book of the earth. And so the earth, is the earth, the medicines, and they're all connected in the names, and the woman to give it the names, the tuv, this is the feminine in the Egypt, the one that, has the T and the egg. And the way you decode these secrets, is you have to be taught to the new Nosta, of, and it's talking about the skies. And that's why you see, that the Nazit on isn't spelled correctly here, because it's actually talking about the Nosti. the overhead, the nosteion, the sky on move, was arch of this, it was top of the desi, the tesiar, the collector. That's the tesser. You see it on these ancient Egyptian images, the four, and this is in the Garden of Eden, looks like this, and on the fourth line, it'll be marked with the four dots, and they'll be tessing. You come and harvest, plow under. The tesser cosm. So it was meant to read one story on the top with a bunch of misspelled words to make you look more into it. But the hyphen had them. Your better half is what it means. And you can see down here, the andros of this, the left, the man on the left. And I believe it says in Genesis, that they were created androgynous, male and female, androgynous. First he made everything according to its type, the catagenous. So this would be on the top, the categ. And the category, gory actually come from all the gory details that go under the catagens is what category means, all the small details. And so, they got a fishbone chart and they're categorizing all the types. And the hyphen of those, pose them in on there upon the catty corner. So they didn't use the hyphen here in the Greek. They pose them in upon the catty corner. And committer on and categorize the homeos and the likeness as in. Homeosin, likeness as in. And this is why they spread the birds all throughout here and give them so many different words, is because they had to find some way to fit heaven in there, and all the categories are going to the hour of on, the times. So they use a couple different words for the male and female in the Greek here. The andre, anything, the andros, the anthropon. But this is the arson and the lu. And the Greeks will say this S pronounces R, and it means a wren. And a wren is the name. The name comes from the male. A wren and the lu. And the way this was pictured, this is the wren, and this is the lu. They call it a mouth, but it's the feminine. It's the mouth that a man don't have. And so it means the family. It means the name. And so it says, the arson and the lu effigies in. And all that means is the family, the representation of the arson and the lu. What to us and what to was, which one that belonged to them. He made them what to was. And who lodges in what to was, and who's sleeping in that house. And upon 'em has it of, on 'em may, the double A is a Y, on 'em may what of had 'em. The heimer, the home, the house, the heimer, a spouse in, the heimer to wife, the home to wife in, what to was. And so, that's what she's doing. She's writing down, keeping up with all the family, the eulogies in, the blessing, where they were sleeping, what house, and what upon 'em has a name of, to had 'em from the past, of the house, of the spouse, where the spouse is from, name from the husband, name from the wife. And so like the entire Bible, this is a little riddle that I ain't quite figured out. And by the time I post this movie, I'm going to watch it and I'll figure it out then. But that's the way it reads, And hyphen had 'em taught to none. Nobody taught about the hyphen. As to when ect to of to, connect of to. When ect gnaws it on 'em of. And so they're just sticking out bones in here, but it by no way saying he's bone yet. It's just what they gnaws it on. In sorts of tesser, and sorts goes through what I collected. In sorts of tesser, cause move of the clit has it a gin. The clit has it a gin of the hotel. The hotel to wonder as of the select. So in the last couple movies I did, I've been reading here in the Greek, and the last one I read all through these first lines, and I stopped right here around 7 or 8 where it starts this next paragraph, and I told you this is where I'm going to start back up. And so I'll catch this on the next movie of the Equities End.
Don't forget, I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.